Hello everyone, welcome to our campsite. I'm Lonnie.
Hey, I'm Candace. Welcome back. This is Shed Flips channel. If you don't know, if this is your first time, we are both full-time resellers, a husband and wife team, and we're actually on a little family camping trip. Sorry for the loud helicopter.
It's flying non-stop all day.
Yeah.
Like a sightseeing helicopter. We're just gonna have to deal with that. There might also be some wind noise. We can't control either one of these things. I don't have good equipment for knocking out the wind.
So we are on the Florida Panhandle in Destin, Florida at Henderson Beach State Park. It's a state park campground. Beautiful sights, as you can see.
Yeah, look at it.
Very well maintained, nice and spacious. A lot of privacy. So, yeah, because we're like at the beach in Florida, there are helicopters that fly over the beach sightseeing.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd take a little walk around and answer some viewer questions today.
Yeah, I pulled out 20 questions. I actually had videos I was supposed to upload instead of this, and I left the memory card at home. So just don't have it, and I didn't want to not put something on the channel. So here we go. First of all, check out how awesome this magnolia is back here.
Yeah, we have a big magnolia tree. And then you have like your palms that you always see in Florida. It's just a really neat site.
The way they do all the vegetation, there's sites everywhere, but you still have tons of privacy.
Yes.
There's people all around. We just can't see them.
Right.
It's pretty awesome. And yeah, we did need this trip. Recently, we were going on and on about how burnt out we are and this and that. So we decided to do something about it. Took off for a little while.
We came to go to the beach and this freak cold front came in, so we haven't been able to swim, but we've been having a great time. Molly's with us and we've just been playing board games and just hanging out and relaxing, which is what we needed.
Yep, and not working at all, except, well, right now we are working.
Yeah.
I couldn't get away from work 100%. So, but like I said, we have 20 questions. We're going to do 2 videos. We're going to answer 10 of the questions in each video. None of them are like super duper deep, or some of them are like they're all pretty decent.
Yeah.
But none of them are like real long-winded questions. But watch, we'll be able to turn them into long-winded answers.
Yep. So we're going to take a little stroll around, kind of show y'all some of the sights here at the state park while we answer the questions.
Okay. Cool. So, let's go ahead and do a question first before we get going.
All right, the first question is from David OV31. I find it fascinating how you are still able to move Windows 7 disk for what seems like good money. Microsoft don't even support it anymore, so the security risk would be huge. Do you know what people are doing with them? I don't.
So, he's referring to, we sold a Windows 7 for, I think, we had a couple of them. We sold one for like 60, and then another full retail for like 70, and they were both used. And I gotta be honest, I was a little nervous about selling them because I wasn't 100% sure the keys were still going to be good or whatever. But apparently no problems, because we even got good feedback. One guy bought 2 and he left positive feedback. He was happy with them. For one thing, there are some peripherals that simply never got drivers for like Windows, past Windows 8, 10, 11, whatever. So maybe some legacy peripherals need the older versions of Windows. I don't know though. I don't know if that's what they're doing with them. I think there's also a chance that some people are collecting it, maybe. Because if you look at Windows XP, if you can find like brand new sealed retail versions of Windows XP, those can go for over $100. And I think those are collectors. Another thing to consider, even though Windows 7 is no longer being supported by Microsoft, you can still upgrade. There is an upgrade path to get you from Windows 7 to the latest version, what is it, 11, free of charge. So there is that too. I don't know. All I know is that like old copies of Windows and Microsoft Office have always sold. Not always for great money, but there's always been a market, and I imagine there always will. So I'm not really sure though on this one. All right, we're over by the bathhouse now, and this is actually where they post the conditions. This is the walk to the beach, and today is a medium hazard day. Yesterday was a double red, water closed to public day.
The first day we got here, like the beaches were closed.
Oh, that's right. It was this, and then yesterday it was this, and then today it was this.
Yeah, so they don't have lifeguards on duty, so they make sure you know this is posted everywhere. There's numerous on the beach, like you cannot miss it.
It's serious too, because last time we came out, we were at Dolphin Island,
yeah,
and somebody actually died on the beach out there that time, at the same beach we were at on the same day.
Yeah.
So what's the next question?
We have a question from Teresa Webb. Lonnie and Candace, I'm wondering if you have ever tried liquidation to cut down on so much yard selling.
What do you think about liquidation?
Like pallets, I'm assuming?
Yeah, like probably buying like Amazon liquidation, Amazon returns.
I definitely am interested in it, but to me it seems like you either have to do one or the other. Like, it's something that you really have to put a lot of time into, and I just don't think we're ready for that yet. I would love to do it someday though. I've kind of looked into it.
I would too. We're not really set up for, we could be though. We're not set up for it.
I think maybe definitely not during yard sale season, but maybe when it starts dying down, look into doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, really, like that would be, because that's a way that you can get a lot of inventory and you can always get it. But where do you get it to where it's, because like that's actually a very hot category for people to source from.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're not very knowledgeable about that.
I've actually looked into it, and I found the website that Amazon uses. I haven't done a lot of research, but I kind of got a starting point, so we'll know where to start looking whenever we decide we want to do it.
Yeah, I really enjoy, for me, if we could just keep on doing garage sales, estate sales, and then occasional bulk buys here and there, buying out collections and whatnot, or buying out other resellers even, I'm actually okay with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's working for us.
I'm not, like, I don't feel, I know a lot of people feel the need to level up and things like that. I'm actually enjoying life like it is. I am.
You know what's crazy? I see on Facebook Marketplace where people are like, we have pallets, you can come buy from our pallets, and you know that they've been cherry picked.
Oh, of course.
And the good stuff has been sold either on eBay or, you know, Mercari or Poshmark or whatever. I'm just, you know, they have like where you can buy mystery, hey, we'll send you 10 random of this. Right. And you know it's going to be junk. Well,
and even if it's not, even if they didn't cherry pick it, there would still be a ton of junk there. Yeah. Another thing we've thought about doing too, and we just haven't been able to commit our time and money and effort to it, is we want to do storage units more.
Yeah, we do.
But you have to pick.
You do.
You have to pick, because there's only 2 of us and there's only 24 hours in the day, and we do run a YouTube channel.
Right.
And we love going to garage sales.
Yeah, that's what I think that stuff is going to be like after the big garage sale season is over.
Yeah, if we did something like that, it would be in the winter time, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm not ruling it out though.
No, I would love to. I think it'd be fun.
We're willing to try pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Dip our toes in the water. Try it out.
The next question is from Benny Brunick. Do you still tape garage sales? Is there a different channel for that?
Well, you go ahead and give your answer, then I'll talk about my thoughts on that.
Actually, we don't. I think Lonnie just found it too stressful. Like, we're trying to enjoy ourselves and really take it serious, and he was having to focus so much on the filming aspect of it that we just decided it was best not to. What do you think? Well,
I gotta be honest, after a while, I mean, I never, at some point I got kind of like fairly comfortable doing it, and I do enjoy sharing that kind of footage. I think it's fun, especially negotiations, and like just showing, like when you first see something like a really good score live there, that is powerful. So I understand like why that footage is so good. However, like Candace said, it was stressful. It would make me enjoy going to garage sales and being in the moment, because there are 2 moments there, right? There's a moment that I'm doing publicly by videoing, and then there's our own moment that we're living just regular life, right? Like, like our moment where we're there together doing that thing and just doing that thing.
Yeah, plus I have, you know, you have to worry about, okay, am I going to walk up here and somebody's going to freak out because I'm
right
filming? You know, you have that stress added on top of it.
Right. I have had incidents, not at garage sales, but at estate sales.
Yeah, and estate sale, yeah.
Where, and I mean, I've been publicly called in public forums. I don't mean just like direct message or something, like a pervert, a weirdo, etc. And I kind of get it, honestly. Like a middle-aged dude walking up to somebody's house with a camera on them. Yeah. And a lot of times garage sales are run by who? They're run by women. Yeah. A lot of times. Mm-hmm. Like I would say, wouldn't you say like 80%, 75% yep. garage sales are run by women? Right. A lot of times the men are there too, but usually they're just like in a,
sometimes their kids are there.
Yeah. Right, kids. Yeah. And it just gets weird. Yeah. And I felt weird about it. So you know what? I was like, this is stressing me out. I'm not going to do it anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to take a few clips here or there to put into a video maybe. Or if we do like a private pick where it's a controlled environment. This is interesting, right? Look, a little amphitheater out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, there is a little plaque over here.
But I mean, I found it made my life more stressful and less enjoyable. Would I make more money?
Definitely.
We would make a lot more money on YouTube if we still did that.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt those videos get the views, but
yeah, they get
not worth it. You
know? Like these videos that we shoot here, they'll never go viral. A really good performer on this channel, maybe what, like a really strong performer, 25,000 views is huge on this channel. 25,000 views on like a live garage sale footage channel, not that big of a deal and not that hard to get.
Nope.
And you have a chance to get a viral, and a viral could mean thousands. Like we have a video on when we were doing that, the most we ever made, to open the kimono just a bit. Do you like that saying?
I've never heard it actually. And I don't like that image.
I know. It's meant to be that awkward, right? Yeah. But to open the kimono a bit, our highest, I want to say, you know what, I'll put up a screenshot of what it's made so far. But our one viral that we had, I want to say it made over 8 grand. So that's what's at stake. That's what we're giving up, but much happier and much less stress. Mm-hmm. You know, because at some point, like quality of life matters too.
Right.
So I think we found a nice balance between the two, right?
All right, this next question is from Lisa Ann Johnson. Where do you get so many Walmart pins?
That's a good question. We've actually gotten that a lot.
Yeah. So we're not like constantly acquiring them. We were actually invited to a viewer's garage sale.
Suzanne. And she was generous enough to invite us early, and look at the size of this sale, y'all. Look at all of it. And this is like really good stuff.
And she had held these aside just for us. I imagine she bought the whole collection from one person. I'm not really sure where, but yeah, that's where they came from a viewer. Yeah,
we actually have some video footage from that garage sale, because like I said, it wasn't like, it was kind of like a pre-sale thing, sort of, before the garage sale started.
She invited us to come early and look around before the opening time.
And she had so much stuff.
Yeah, I think some cool stuff.
She was inundated. We did really well on the stuff we got from her at that garage sale, even without the Walmart pins. But I had an inkling that the Walmart pins were going to be really good. I'll put a little clip whenever we were like spreading all the Walmart pins out. 400, yeah. I counted. I would loosely counted to about 300 up around here somewhere, and then
we have some over there.
Yeah, we have some more over there.
So the majority, and I'm saying like 99.9% of these are Walmart employee pins.
Yep. It was a lot, and it was overwhelming. Are they all listed yet?
Yes, they are. I listed the last ones like 2 days before we left on this trip.
What did we spend at her garage? It was a couple. We said in the video, Suzanne looked at all the stuff we had piled up.
Yeah, she told us to make a pile and we'll come up with a number.
And she told us $125, and I said no, we need to give you $200, and she took it. So
everything we're about to show you, we paid $200.
Yep. But just the Walmart pens, we've already sold over $1,000 of Walmart pens, and we have probably about 2/3 of them left still.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Suzanne, if you're watching this, thanks again. That was really cool.
Great hookup. All right, next question is from Seth Rosker. Why did you decide to list these water filters on your main store and still have the other water filters that are considered risky on your second store? Keep up the great work.
Okay, so we bought some third-party water filters last year, or maybe even longer ago than that, that were all third-party but made to fit like Kenmore, Amana, etc., like name brand appliances. And you have to be very careful the way you list those, or you will find yourself getting a Vero takedown. And I was a little concerned about that because it was all third-party stuff. You have to say fits for, etc. You have to make, there's a certain way you have to word the title. I'm not going to tell y'all exactly how to do it because I don't want the responsibility if you do get your account suspended or, you know, takedowns, etc. I complied with those on our other eBay store, and I put them there just because I thought it was a little safer than putting it on our main store. We actually had 0 problems. We also didn't sell. We've only sold maybe half of that stuff. We still have a pretty good bit of it left. But after that experience, I felt like I was confident. The filters that we have on our main store that we just listed not too long ago from the Kevin and Danielle buy, most of those are first party, or they're not made to fit anything. Like we have like some Pure water filters. They have their own system.
I think some Kenmore.
We have the Kenmore air filters that are actually OEM Kenmore.
Right.
You know, we didn't have any of that third-party stuff this time. Although now I would actually feel confident listing that stuff, that third-party stuff on the main store, because I know how to do it. You just have to do it right.
Yeah, you have to make sure you're not misrepresenting that it's a first-party product.
And there is a difference, because we have seen like when we look up some of the stuff, if you don't put OEM or genuine in the title, you're going to see a bunch of third-party stuff, and a lot of times the people are clearly trying to misrepresent it. So you need to say made to fit Kenmore. Like, you can use the name brand, but you have to make it very clear that it's third-party.
Yep.
We're in a little garden area now. Looks like they're
just kind of starting it up. Like developing it.
It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, once they get it going, you can see looks like maybe they've actually planted some stuff here that's about to come up, some ground cover or something.
But one thing I did notice, they do not want a dog right here.
No dogs on this table.
It's so odd.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another one.
All right, the next question is from the Middleman Reseller. Quick question: does Guy know that you're cheating on him and purchasing from other people behind his back? If he does know, does that create any jealousy? Just kidding, just wanted to make you laugh.
Yeah, well, he did that.
Yeah.
Accomplished, mission accomplished.
Guy is still around. We still do talk to him. He's been busy with other things, so he hasn't had any buys for us. And I think he does watch the channel sometimes. So if you're watching, hey, Guy.
Yeah. Guy is actually doing a little selling on eBay himself. He's got like some high-end stamps and some other stuff. We talked to him, what, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And he had just sold some kind of like a Japanese flag for like over $1,000.
Yeah.
So he's doing a few different things, and he is selling some of his really high-end. He has some high-end collectible stuff of his own.
Yeah.
And he is dabbling with reselling a little bit. He's not making like the big monster buys like he was. Things have definitely changed. Although we are still friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, nothing lasts forever, right? It doesn't.
No.
You know, like circumstances change, and yeah. but we are still friends with Guy, and I wouldn't be shocked if Guy called us next weekend and said, hey, I just got blah blah blah, you want to buy it? And you know, we go meet him and we pick it up. We never know. But day to day, we never know what's going to happen.
Right.
But yeah, we never had an exclusive relationship with Guy. It was always kind of a
I think he kind of knew the things we like to buy, and he would contact us if he thought he had some stuff we'd want. So
yeah, Daddy didn't want to sell himself.
Yeah.
Or he might be selling to someone else now. We really, you know, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just,
he might be cheating on us. I'm just kidding.
That's true.
All right, this next question actually has 4 questions within it. It's from Kevin Riley, so we're going to take it part by part. He says, hello, love the videos. I do have a few questions for me as a new reseller. Number 1, what, if any, certain items are better to list for your first listings? For example, clothing, video games, media. I think what you should, when you're starting out, list what you love, what you know about. What is your knowledge, you know?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But there is a little caveat to that. If the thing that you are knowledgeable about and really love, if it's a long tail type item on the eBay, then it might not be good to list for some of your first sales, because when you first start on eBay, you're going to have account limits that limit like how much you can sell on eBay at first, or how much you can list. You need the first items that you list on eBay to be to sell,
not sit there for 2 months before they sell.
Right. Like we can throw up a couple hundred Walmart pins and just wait it out. But you don't want to put, say, like, let's say you have a listing limits of 20 items on eBay and you're first starting. You don't want to put Walmart pins up, because those aren't going to sell fast. No. unless you are willing to sell them for like $3 a piece or something, right? Maybe then you could do it. Yeah. But yeah, like of the things he listed, what, video games, media, clothing. Yeah.
Honestly, I would stay away from clothing,
at least at first, until you get your account built up.
Yeah.
But
you want to get some feedback built up. You want to get some of your equity back, you know.
I think you want to get your limits raised as soon as possible. That's mission number 1.
Yeah.
So fast movers, like, yeah, I mean, video games are definitely one of them. If you can find things like cameras, or
if you're comfortable testing those.
Right. Yeah. If you know that stuff. Yeah. Some shoes. Some shoes are good. Yeah. Some clothing is good.
Yeah.
Like if it's fast moving clothing.
If you do clothing, just make sure you give all the measurements, you know.
And make sure it's something that's going to sell fast. Yeah. Whatever it is, it needs to be something that sells fast. It needs to have a good sell-through rate. And honestly, if you have a brand new account and you don't have any feedback really, and you're trying to make sales so you can get higher limits, you might just have to sell stuff a little cheaper than people with like well-established accounts just to make the sale.
Right.
And I wouldn't feel bad about that.
No.
I would just go ahead and sell it cheaper.
Yeah.
And
kind of get a foothold in there.
Yeah, and I would also stay away from things that are very hard to ship at first, or things that have like, I would be careful selling things that are like mechanical things that could break in transit or something, right? Like a DVD VCR combo.
Right. It's hard to ship, and it can be fragile.
It can break on the way. They could get it even though you tested it. It's old electronics. They could get it. It's got moving parts. Maybe something got jostled and it isn't working. And God forbid, what if you got, like early on, what if you got a negative feedback?
Right. That's a killer there.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I would want to look for fast moving things that are fairly inexpensive, easy to ship, unlikely to have issues with. That's what I would try and focus on. What are those things? That's up to you.
Yeah. All right, the second part of the question, would love to know, in all honesty, what type of sales can one expect in the first 3 to 6 months as a new reseller? I know there are several variables in that question.
Well,
yeah, it just depends on what you're listing, you know.
Yep.
There's no like like you know there's no cut and dry answer to that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Like even our sales in a given month, if we have crap inventory, we could have a month where we sell $8,000 worth of stuff. If we have decent inventory, maybe we sell 15. If we have awesome inventory, maybe we're selling over 20,000 in a month. So there's no answer to this. It's like, how long is a rope? Like, how good is your inventory? If your inventory is good enough, sky's the limit. Well, and also I guess the eBay limits could limit you in that time frame, but it's all depends on the inventory. So let's go to the next part.
All right, the next part says, roughly how much do you take out of the profits from sales to use for more product? I know some people do like set aside a certain amount for putting back into their product. We don't do that. I mean, we on
a typical garage sale weekend, we typically will take out like $500.
Yeah.
And try and roll with that. And
yeah, we try to stay at a certain amount that we don't want to go over just because of our budgeting. However, sometimes we do come across incredible deals where we do. Sometimes you come across a deal and you just got to go in. You know, so I mean, that's up to you. If you want to put yourself on a strict budget, like, okay, let's say you do put yourself on a strict budget. You say, okay, I'm gonna spend $100 a week, and then you go around, you hit a garage sale and they've got all kind of brand new sealed, just awesome product, and it's going to cost $1,000, and you don't have 1,000 on you, but you have it in your rainy day fund or whatever. Is it disposable for you to use? That's the first question.
Like, what is your risk tolerance? Are you 21 years old and don't have a whole lot of people depending on you? Don't really have, like, maybe you have a lot of risk tolerance. If things go really bad, you can move back in with mom and dad for a while.
Yeah.
You know, like, these are real considerations. It's almost like the last question.
Yeah.
How much risk tolerance do you have? How much money do you have? And how experienced are you? Because like brand new resellers, they can see like a deal and they'll think it's a great deal and they go all in on it.
And it's not, the inventory sits.
And it goes bad.
Yeah.
Like, how confident are you?
Yeah.
And how much risk?
As a new seller, if you're going to take that big of a risk, you really need to know that you're going to be able to move that product.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. How much time do you have? How like, yeah, there's so many factors there. But I would say, like, in general, just for garage sales, we kind of save like $500 a weekend, and sometimes we'll only,
a lot of times we spend a lot less, maybe like $200-300.
Yeah, or maybe sometimes even less than that.
Yeah.
And if the stuff isn't, that's one thing. If the stuff isn't there that weekend, don't buy it.
Yeah, don't force it.
And if it is there, and it's maybe 4 weekends worth of stuff, you need to buy it if you can.
Yeah.
Like how much should you buy? As much as you can.
Yeah, if it's there and you can do it, and then you may just have to not go to sales the next weekend.
If it's the good stuff, you got to try and make it happen, because the good stuff ain't always there. So when opportunities are there, if you can, and I'm not gonna tell anybody to go into debt or run up a credit card, but I'm not gonna tell you not to.
Right.
Like, that's up to you. Yeah. I hate to tell some, because a lot of times, like in a given year, you're gonna have there's gonna be what, Candace? Maybe 3 to 5 times in that year where you're presented with big opportunities that will go a long way to making it a good year.
Right.
And it's hard to pass those up.
Yeah, it is.
We've been in that spot.
Yeah. We're like, are we really in a position to do this? I don't know, but I feel like we have to do it.
Right. Are we in a position to not do this?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Sometimes that's the question.
Yeah.
Can I afford to do this? Or can I afford not to do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
All right, and then the last...
That friggin' helicopter, man. Where is he? This little... Oh, that little guy right there. I wonder if he's circling just outside of the park.
I think that's what they do.
Surely they
never fly right above us.
They can't fly above the park, but they sure can buzz all around. Oh well, okay.
Okay, so the last part of the question, how much product should you have to start reselling?
Well, what do you think? At least one thing.
I mean, this is another question where there's just variables. Are you looking to go into it full time? Are you just like dipping your toe in the water? Are you looking for a part-time gig?
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like if you're asking that question, it's just a part-time thing.
Yeah. You only have to start with one thing.
Start with one item and then get another item.
Yeah.
And then get another item. Sell a couple items. Build that snowball rolling down the hill. See what happens.
Get comfortable with the eBay platform.
Right.
You know, list something and see how it goes for you. Do you understand how it works? Do you understand all the logistics of it? And then just build from there.
In general, though, I will say this: like whether you're part-time or full-time, in general, once you figured out like the kind of stuff that sells on eBay and you have like good product, you're not just putting like absolute turds up. You're not listing turds that aren't going to sell. You're listing like good, solid, sellable product, right? Typically, we find that in general, gross generalization, you're gonna make a day approximately the same amount that you list today. And it might take a while to get to that point to build up enough inventory to where it actually works out like that.
A lot of resellers do say that they sell the amount they list. It may not necessarily be the things you listed, but it's going to bring that traffic to your store.
Right.
They may not be that one thing that they came to your store for, but it could be something similar within, you know, so.
Right. So if you want, if you have, like, let's say you have a job, like a full-time job, but you just want to supplement. Let's say you want to try and make an extra $1,000 a month gross. Okay, well, you figure out all your tax implications and your other expenses, right? But let's say you want to make 1,000 gross. Well, that means that on an average day, you should be listing about $35 worth of product. Mm-hmm. And now, does that mean that maybe on Friday night, you stay home and you put in a couple-hour listing session to list? What would that be? Sometimes it'd up it'd be about $250, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe every Friday night you try and list $250, and that if you do that every Friday night for long enough and it's good product, then eventually the idea is you should be selling about $1,000 a month
before fees.
Before fees and other expenses and cost of goods and all that. You got to factor that in. But to a lot of people, like an extra $1,000 a month could actually be life-changing money.
Yep, the ones that are struggling to make that rent, that would do it.
Or if maybe they just want enough to you know, make that house payment, or maybe to buy an RV or whatever it is, right? $1,000. $1,000 can make all the difference. And maybe $1,000 a month in gross sales, that's your vacation budget for the year.
Yep.
You know, so consistency is huge when it comes to that. So list the amount you want to make, basically.
Yep.
And it does take a while to get that snowball started there. All right, well, we just counted with the multi-parter, that was 10 questions, and it's been a while. And we want to get back to Pippin and Molly. They're back at the campsite. So but this
we want to give you a sneak peek. We're going to do another video with some more questions, and there's the boardwalk to the beach, and we will give y'all a peek in the next video. Yeah,
we walked out there the other day. It's chilly out here, but the beach and the water is just friggin' amazing. It looks like the Caribbean. So thanks a bunch for joining us. Part 2 of this series is tomorrow, and we will see y'all then. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.
Bye.